The containment field flickered and died with a sound like breaking glass. Admiral Kethvar's four eyes widened in horror as the massive form of the Voidstalker emerged from its crystalline prison. The creature stood 12 feet tall, its obsidian carapace gleaming under the harsh laboratory lights of Research Station Omega-7. Razor-sharp claws extended from 6 limbs, each one capable of shearing through titanium steel composites. Its eyeless head swiveled toward the terrified Zelani scientists, sensing their fear through bioelectric fields that humans couldn't even perceive. "Evacuation Protocol 7!" Kethvar screamed into his comm unit, his translator struggling to keep pace with his rapid-fire commands in High Zelani. "All personnel to emergency pods. The specimen has—" The Voidstalker moved with impossible speed for something so large. Dr. Yelith never had time to scream as those terrible claws found her, reducing the galaxy's leading xenobiologist to constituent atoms in milliseconds. The creature's mandibles clicked in what the research team had learned to recognize as satisfaction. In the chaos, nobody noticed the lone human observer in the corner. Dr. Sarah Chen had been the token representative from the Human Colonial Authority, sent to observe the Galactic Council's attempts to study their most dangerous captive. The Voidstalkers had been the scourge of the galaxy for 3 centuries, appearing from dark space to devour entire colonies before vanishing back into the cosmic night. This specimen, captured at enormous cost during the Battle of Kepler's Gate, represented the first living example anyone had managed to contain, until now. The creature turned toward the fleeing scientists, its sensory organs tracking the electromagnetic signatures of their terror. Admiral Kethvar was backing toward the emergency exit, his service weapon drawn but trembling in his grip. Everyone knew energy weapons were useless against Voidstalker armor. "Stay back," he warned the approaching nightmare. "The containment team will—" The stalker's head snapped toward him with predatory focus. Kethvar whimpered. Sarah stepped forward. "Hey." The simple words spoken in perfectly calm English cut through the chaos like a blade. The Voidstalker froze mid-stride, its massive head turning toward this new stimulus. Every other being in the lab held their breath. Sarah walked closer, her hands empty and visible, her expression as relaxed as if she were greeting a neighbor's dog. "Yeah, you. Big guy. What's your problem?" The creature's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sound the research team had never heard before. Its posture shifted, the aggressive hunting stance melting into something that almost looked like uncertainty. "You're scared, aren't you?" Sarah continued, taking another step closer. The remaining scientists watched in horrified fascination as she approached certain death, with the casual confidence that only humans seem to possess. All alone out here, surrounded by things that want to poke and prod you. Nobody speaking. "Your language," Kethvar found his voice. "Dr. Chen, are you insane? That creature has killed 17 beings in the last—" "Quiet," Sarah said without taking her eyes off the stalker. "We're having a conversation." The impossible happened. The Voidstalker sat down. Its massive form settled onto the laboratory floor with surprising grace, bringing its eyeless head closer to Sarah's level. The clicking of its mandibles had shifted to a different pattern, almost rhythmic, like the beating of a vast heart. Sarah smiled. "There we go. Much better." She looked over her shoulder at the stunned onlookers. "Someone want to explain to me why you had this guy locked up in what amounts to a sensory deprivation chamber?" "It's a Voidstalker," Dr. Nexum gasped, his gill slits fluttering with panic. "The most dangerous predator in known space. They've wiped out entire star systems." "Have they, though?" Sarah turned back to the creature, which had lowered its head until it was almost touching the floor. "Or have they been trying to communicate and nobody bothered to listen?" She reached out slowly, her hand moving toward the creature's head. Every instinct screamed at the watching aliens to stop her, but something in her manner held them frozen. Her palm touched the obsidian carapace. The Voidstalker's clicking became a low, rumbling sound that seemed to resonate through the deck plating. Its 6 limbs curled inward, claws retracting into their sheaths. "What?" Admiral Kethvar's voice was barely a whisper. "What is it doing?" Purring, Sarah said simply. He's purring. For the next hour, Dr. Chen sat with the creature that had terrorized the galaxy for 3 centuries. She spoke to it in soft, conversational tones, about her childhood on Earth, about the rain on her homeworld, about the way humans had learned to live with creatures others considered monsters. The Void Stalker listened, its massive form gradually relaxing until it resembled nothing so much as an enormous, contented cat. When the containment teams finally arrived, they found Sarah leaning against the creature's flank while it dozed, peacefully. The stalker's biosigns showed none of the stress markers that had plagued it during its captivity. How? Was all Kethavar could manage. Sarah scratched behind what might have been the creature's ear. It rumbled appreciatively. You want to know the secret to dealing with predators? She asked. Don't treat them like monsters. Treat them like what they are. Living beings who are just as confused and scared as you are, but with bigger teeth. She stood up slowly, and the Void Stalker's head followed her movement with obvious reluctance. The galaxy's been trying to kill these guys for 300 years, Sarah continued. Maybe it's time we tried talking to them instead. As she walked toward the exit, the creature rose and followed her with the loyal devotion of a faithful companion. The greatest predator in known space had found something it had been searching for across the cosmic dark for centuries. A friend. And all it had taken was one human word. Hey. Behind them, the assembled representatives of a dozen species watched in stunned silence as humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy revealed itself once again. Not their technology, not their weapons, not their ships. Their audacity to see monsters as anything other than monsters. The predator had indeed snapped its chains. But it hadn't escaped. It had chosen to follow.